Ladies and gentlemen, I just so happened to figure out what the rank 1 team was again for today, so I decided why not try that team out. And actually, I think it was the other team that Dune was using. Now, Dune wasn't rank 1 on the leaderboard, but let me stall and say who is at rank 1. LMYsPMufasa, I guess. Yeah, they're rank 1. And the team is going to be Escavlier in the front with double water backline, so a bit of an ABB comp with Jellicent and Lanturn in the back. So Lanturn has Spark and Jellicent has Hex. Now, I will say in my last video, I talked about the team that I was using for the last basically week and a half. And I was using Megahorn on Escavalier, and while I still had Megahorn on Escavalier for these battles, I did not use it that much, and I think with this comp I would say definitely more of an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace and Drill Run I think would be the right moveset to go for here. Now, unfortunately, I didn't use that in my games here, but again, after playing the 3 sets here, I think I would go Aerial Ace. Yeah, definitely well worth it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the team, get into the games. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you think you're subscribed, go ahead and double check. Some people say they think they are, but then they end up not being. And then if you're not, definitely hit it. And if you already were, thank you so much for the subscription. It helps me out so much here on YouTube with the algorithm. So let's get into it. All right, so Lanturn in the front is interesting because you have a pretty decent matchup against it, but you end up basically needing to shield even if they go straight surf. So I usually just shield right away. It's a bit of a weird one here because you really need a Escavalier in the back if they end up having something like... ooh, I went for the bait here. It is... well, they almost always shield, right? Oof, that is terrible. All right. Well, either way, gonna farm this down with Lanturn. Probably gonna end up having to surf, to be honest. Oh, they have Liquidation. Interesting. Oh, they must be Liquidation and Aerial Ace. That makes a lot of sense. So actually, I'm gonna get the full farm down here. You really need a Escavalier for the Ferrothorn, which means that Lanturn leads can be a bit problematic. But they end up coming back in with Lanturn here. It makes me think that they don't have Ferrothorn in the back, which is great for me. But it does make me think, you know, what do they have? End up getting the shield here on a Thunderbolt. But I get another Thunderbolt off. They're going to be able to farm. They're not going to farm down, but they're going to be able to throw a Surf here. Great timing here by the opponent. Making sure that I don't make it to that Surf. They have 2 Surfs loaded. So I come in with a Escavalier, end up going for a CMP here. So if they want to shield, I'll probably shield in kind and maybe go for the farm down. They end up having Poliwrath in the back, and that's GG because Jellicent is just a super hard wall to Poliwrath. Definitely can just go straight Shadow Ball there. Yeah. Whiscash here, a bit of a weird one. I do try to catch here on Jellicent. They do not fall for it, but then they end up throwing energy anyways into this Jellicent. Oh my god, excuse me. It is so late when I get to when I get to film these videos, so pardon me on that one. Anyways, gonna go for the Shadow Ball here. Good timing on my part. Yeah, 3-turn move versus a 2-turn move. You want to throw in odd timings. I throw on 1 there. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to... If I decide to shield here, I'm gonna have to throw in bad timing because they're gonna get to a move at the same time that I would get to the Shadow Ball. Oh, it must have been in a different game. But I do have to throw 1 here and then go for the Shadow Ball. They do end up catching here on a Mantine, which, you know, fine with me. I'm going to come in with the Lanturn. Going to be able to farm this basically all the way down. I mean, I say basically. It is going to be all the way down. The Mantine really doesn't threaten Lanturn with anything. We do resist the fast attacks and all the charge moves, no matter what it's using. I guess technically it could be using Bullet Seed, which would be a super effective fast attack. But we have a lot of energy here. I'm going to throw the Surf blind, assuming they're going to come back in with a Whiscash, and I want to try to go for that 1-turn lag on the entry if they do have it. So we do end up getting that extra, well, they get the 1-turn delay, so they don't get a move through, which is nice, and end up getting the shield here, but, oh, they end up catching, oh, I do remember this. This was 5 hours ago, but this opponent played pretty poorly here, I think. they kind of just kept trying to catch on things, which made it to where I ended up in these huge advantageous situations. Yeah, so, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. But, yeah, just make sure when you're switching and catching on things that it's worth something. All right, Lanturn here in the Escavlier here into the Lanturn. Again, I do like to shield, and I will go for the drill runs. Sometimes I'll try to catch on my own Lanturn later. Instead of taking the super effective move, they try to catch on Poliwrath. Horrific switch by me here. If I'm going to call out the opponents, I got to call out myself too. This switch made no sense. Definitely should have gone into the Jellicent. It's a hard counter to Poliwrath. Very poor switch on my end. Now, the only good thing that could come from this is if they do have a Ferrothorn in the back, at least Jellicent does have some play into it with the Shadow Ball. But I should have taken the for sure win there instead of taking this loss and now probably taking an Icy Wind onto my Jellicent, because it can definitely not come in with this Escavalier. I should have said also the movesets are there on the left side. Again, I would probably run, if I had to do it over, I would probably run Aerial Ace over Megahorn. They do come in with their own Escavalier, but I have a huge energy advantage. I decided to just go for the drill run before they get to theirs. They can decide whether or not to shield here. Probably not worth shielding on their part. They're going to try to go all in, I assume, on the Lanturn here. If I can CMP, that would be the best case scenario. They end up, I guess, going for the full farm down, which makes a lot of sense. But I think Switch is going to be... Oh, no, it's not going to be up. So it's going to be all about, are they going to bait or not here in the first one? And I decided they're not going to bait on this first one. Guess what? They end up baiting. But I'm pretty sure that I live Thunderbolt from here. It's going to be pretty close, to be honest. Yeah, but we get to the Shadow Ball, and that's going to be GG. Really close game on this one. Again, I played pretty poorly on that switch, but you know what? It ended up working out really well for me, so... I guess it didn't really work. I don't know if it worked out well. It worked out basically luckily for me, I guess. All right, Poliwrath into Jellicent. Obviously, we are going to dominate this matchup. The only thing is, if they do go for shields, they can actually just Icy Wind you down to, like, no damage, which is crazy. But I do want to take a lot of damage here. I don't want them to get, like, an infinite farm down, and we can take 3 Icy Winds very easily. I think I'm going to go for the Surf here. I forget if I undercharge or not, but we are double reduced on attack, so this is probably not going to KO anyways. And then I get this farm down, and they get an extra move off, which it may not seem like it, but it's very good for me. Again, trying to get as low as possible here so that they don't get as much farm. I end up going for the one turn delay again, and they end up getting delayed. I mean, these are risky things to go for, but to be fair, I did not think I was ever going to get to 2 moves. So the fact that I actually lived that Volt Switch with like 1 HP is crazy. It does make it to where this Magnezone ends up getting 2 moves through. They come up with their Lanturn. I'm going to drill run, and then I'm going to dip. I really wish I didn't need to shield this here, but I do think that Escavalier is my win con, so I'm going to play with that in mind. Going to throw this and then probably dip into my own Lanturn, keep the shield for my own Escavalier, end up catching the Surf here. They were throwing on 6 every time, it seemed like, so yeah, it made sense that they were going to throw right here. They're not in Thunderbolt range, but they're basically in Thunderbolt and farm down range. And I don't want them to catch anything. Timer's definitely not up. They end up not shielding this, which means they're going to try to save shields for Magnezone, but it's already just too late. I just realized they had ABA electric, so I actually saw a really strange amount of Alolan Sandslash today. Yeah, I think I saw 3, to be honest. They weren't all in the... I think they were all in the front, actually. I don't know if someone made a team with that, but yeah, a lot in the front. I also saw, I did a coaching session today, and I saw 3 Shadow Ferrothorn leads with Golisopod in the back, so someone must have made that team as well. If I was to guess, let me know in the comments if you've seen other creators making those teams or not. But Golisopod is definitely rough for this team. I end up throwing here. They're probably going to shield, but I can definitely switch into like Jellicent here. and eat this move, get a Hex through. So they were going for a switch, but you know what? I'm going to get a little bit of a lead here. If they want to switch back into the Alolan Sandslash, that is fine with me. We can go for the Shadow Ball. We're definitely going to live a Drill Run here, so it's okay to have waited for this. But I'm not really going to get another move off here, so I go for bad timing, which I could have lived anyways, but maybe I would have made it to a Surf. I don't think so, though. So I'm going to come in with this Escavlier. This is probably one counter away from getting KO'd. It's double super effective against Alolan Sandslash. And they were at Ice Punch, but not at Drill Run, so I wasn't too scared. I do resist that. I do get this low, and then I am actually close enough to this Thunderbolt. I wasn't too sure where my energy was at there on Lanturn, but I knew that I needed to switch, so I threw the Drill Run just to get to the switch timer, and then maybe I can go for another Drill Run later anyways. Again, another Alolan Sandslash into a Poliwrath. This is already GG, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know what the worst case scenario even could be. It would have to be something that's good against Escavalier and Lanturn, which would be maybe Poliwrath, maybe like Power Punch, Shadow Poliwrath. Oh wait, we're already facing a Poliwrath. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Yeah, I mean they have pretty good coverages against each other. I can eat another Icy Wind here, and I gladly will because I just want to get as low as possible so that they don't get much farm. Ends up being a Power Punch, makes a lot of sense. This time, like, I'm going to go for that extra move, except I'm at 100 energy, so it's useless. This was actually a few hours later. Oh, yeah, I did my coaching session in between that last set and this set. That's right. Still 3 hours ago, but they're going to be able to get a Drill Run off here, so I have to make a decision whether or not I want to shield, and I decided not to go for the shield, I think. Oh, I did go for the shield. Wow. All right. They end up having a Golisopod in the back. I'm actually just going to go straight Surf, and I kind of want them to know that I go straight Surf, so I was going to throw right there, but then I didn't want to go for CMP, so I decided not to throw right away. But I want them to know that I'm going for Surf, just so that if they decide to shield, they are making a conscious decision to shield a resisted move. Which sometimes they won't make that decision. So go for the Surf here. I'm pretty sure I'll live in X-Scissor, but I also want to do as much spark damage as possible. I'm just now realizing I still have shock in the nameplates over there. Just ignore that. It's it's spark. All right, Golisopod going to take us out here. Then we're going to end up going for... Well, if I can get to a Drill Run, I'll go for the Drill Run. Otherwise, I'll just go for the Farm Down here. Now that they're going to throw a move, I'm just going to go for the Farm Down. I think they already showed Aerial Ace, so definitely second Aerial Ace, not going to be able to get to it. And we do have the Drill Run, but I also know they threw all their energy, so... Mantine lead, pretty rough here. I would really love to get the Lanturn onto the Mantine, but they're staying in here with an energy advantage. It makes a lot of sense. Shadow Ball still does a lot, though, so... I think they ended up shielding this Shadow Ball. You know, not great for me. I'm in a weird position. If I do get one more move off, it will stall the clock completely out, so I'm not going to be too worried about. I do go for CMP here because at the time I was counting, obviously, and they're going to go for another Aerial Ace here, so I decided to go for the Shadow Ball on good timing. You don't want to go for good time. You don't want to go for efficient timing if they're going to get to a move and KO you. So I end up coming with the Escavalier, which they weren't ready for, I think. So I end up coming in against this Quagsire. We do have a shield advantage, so they do have the Mud Bomb here. They could go all the way up to maybe even a Stone Edge. I probably... Okay, they shielded. I probably will go for another shield here, and then go for a little bit of farm. I think I ended up playing this not great, but I do end up going for double Drill Run, but I am going to take another Mud Bomb worth of damage here. I think I miscounted, to be honest, but gonna have two Drill Runs, gonna throw one here, gonna assume they're gonna come in with a Mantine and expect me to throw a Drill Run right away. I decide, you know what, best thing for me to do, I think, is to bank that move. Maybe I can throw it against something that it's really good against later. They end up coming in with their Escavalier. I think I end up going for the Surf because I'm pretty sure I can get to a double Surf. And I'm not sure that the Thunderbolt and the Sparks are going to be enough. But just from the damage we see here, it probably would have been enough. But it would have been risky, and I actually do survive this drill run to get the second surf off. Which is great, because I get another spark onto the Mantine, which is going to be double super effective. But then again, I already have the drill run, and that's going to be GG. That's going to be enough to KO this Mantine anyways. Nice. I did play against a few very high people. I'm still actually gaining on the leaderboard here. This person, I believe, was at 33... I want to say 3320. No, 3350 something, by the way. Togedemaru. And it was not the only Togedemaru I played against. Believe you me. I do go for the Thunderbolt here. I believe they end up shielding. I end up playing this game kind of... Oh, they end up letting it go. Nice. I end up playing this kind of bad against the Togedemaru because I'm not used to the counts, I think. They end up getting to 10 here. I throw this surf, and then I'm like, I'll just go up to the next one, and then I decide for some reason not to CMP, which ends up costing me the shield, and I end up dying, so it's the absolute worst case scenario. But then again, the Togedemaru is going to be out of energy, which is nice, but I wonder if I actually come in Jellicent here. I do come in Jellicent just to get a lead on whatever they're going to throw in. I was pretty sure they were going to swap no matter what because they're already 4 times reduced defense on a very frail Mon, and I have counter, which is going to be super effective. So might as well not lose any turns coming in with the Jellicent here. Yes, it is a little bit of a risk, and they end up taking this move, which is weird. I end up going for the Surf here after landing the Shadow Ball. They're running out of HP across all of their Mons, so probably they have to shield the Surf now. I guess they thought I would go for the bait, considering I had 0 shields and they had 2. Aerial Ace not going to be enough here, but they've planned it out really well to where I will not make it to my next move without them getting another Aerial Ace, which is fine at the end of the day because they do use a lot of energy here. I have a lot of HP still on my Escavlier, but I'm going to get hit by a Water Pulse for sure. Togedemaru probably has 2 hits worth of HP, and they probably have 1 hit worth of HP here on the Mantine left. Oh my god, it actually had 4 hits. Okay, but that's fine. The Mantine has 1 HP, and that's going to be GG. I got pretty lucky here, playing very badly. Alright, Lanturn lead. Again, they usually actually throw right on 6 to go for the Surf, just to prove to you they don't care. That they know about the matchup is basically what it is. I'm going to shield here, and I'm probably going to end up going for 2 shields. Going to lose the shield advantage. It's tough having Lanturn in the lead because I know that I need this for Ferrothorn. So it ends up being kind of awkward because you don't want the Lanturn to be against the Jellicent, and the last thing you want to do is switch into your own Lanturn. They farm all the way up to like 8 before you end up throwing a Thunderbolt, because then they can switch to maybe the Ferrothorn if they do have it, and that's just worst case scenario, which is exactly what happens here. And this kind of thing does happen. I mean, they do get on to 0 shields, but they have so much energy on that Lanturn. It's going to be so difficult for me to overcome this lead. I'm 99% chance to lose this, I'm pretty sure, if I'm being honest. I don't remember this game. This was a few hours ago at this point. I really don't remember this game. Power Whip. We're going to get to another Surf, which is nice, right before this KO'd. I guess he's going to have lower energy on, or lower HP for my Escavlier. I try to snipe. They're super smart. They actually didn't throw another Seed Bomb there. They end up having Acid Spray, and then I don't throw the Drill Run, which is terrible. What can I really beat in the back? Because I'm coming in with Jellicent here, and I'm going to take a Thunderbolt. I guess I can beat Poliwrath. Maybe I can beat Escavalier? I don't know. I end up going for as much energy as I think I can get here without taking too much damage from the Thunderbolts. I remember this game. Oh my gosh. This gets him down to 1 HP here. And then I thought I could get another move off and then get to the Thunder Punch. And then I think they forgot that my Lanturn was alive in the back because they stopped tapping. I didn't deserve to win that game, but I wanted to show that because I think that I really do think They weren't trying to give me the win or anything. They were definitely just like, they stopped tapping because they thought Jellicent was my last mon there. So, you know what? I'll take any wins that I can get here. I think man, if you guys wait a second, I'm going to log into the game. But yeah, this team was actually really good for me. I will say Escavlier is very difficult to use, way more difficult than you think, just because it's slower than Lanturn, even though it has a super effective move against Lanturn. And you don't just like, since you don't have same type attack bonus on counter, you end up taking a lot of damage from the Ferrothorns as well, so it's not that easy. Looks like I'm at 3250. So yeah, we're going up every day. This team worked out. Again, I probably gained 30 points in 3 sets, which, you know, that's as much as I can ask for. Anyways, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button, and catch y'all in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.